Title: The Drums of NDUKU Village. In the heart of the savannah, nestled between two towering baobab trees, lies the small but vibrant village of NDUKU. Life here is simple, yet filled with traditions, stories, and a sense of community that binds everyone together. However, one thing makes NDUKU stand out from all other villages: the mysterious and magical drums of NDUKU. The drums are said to be older than the oldest elder in the village, gifted to NDUKU by an ancient wandering spirit. Legend says they were carved from a tree that only grew during the time of the first rain. The sound of the drums carries far beyond the village, through the grasslands and into the distant mountains. Some say the beats have the power to summon rain, heal the sick, and even call lost travelers back home. The story begins with Amari, a curious and adventurous 12-year-old girl with a knack for asking too many questions. She lives with her grandmother, Nana Zina, who is the village storyteller. Amari dreams of one day learning the secret rhythms of the drums, but only the village elders are allowed to touch them. One fateful evening during the annual Moonlight Festival, the drums fall silent for the first time in living memory. Panic spreads through the village as the skies darken ominously and the winds carry whispers of trouble. Without the sound of the drums, the villagers fear that the balance of NDUKU's harmony will break. Amari overhears the elders discussing the legend. The spirit of the drums requires a seeker of truth to awaken them when they fall silent. It's said the seeker must embark on a journey to the sacred cave of echoes, far beyond the savannah, to find the missing heartstone that powers the drum's magic. Determined to save her village, Amari secretly sets off on the journey. Along the way, she encounters a mischievous talking parrot named Kito, a wise but grumpy tortoise called Elder Sheku, and Kofi, a young boy from a neighboring village who is searching for his missing brother. Each new friend brings their unique talents and challenges to the journey. The path to the sacred Cave of Echoes is filled with trials, crossing the crocodile-infested river, decoding the riddles of the whispering trees, and navigating the treacherous cliffs of the Singing Rocks. Along the way, Amari learns valuable lessons about courage, friendship, and the power of listening, not just to others, but to her own heart. When they finally reach the sacred cave, Amari faces the ultimate test. The spirit of the drums appears as a shimmering figure of light and sound, challenging her to prove her worthiness by playing the rhythms of her soul. Amari must summon all she has learned and let her heart guide her hands. Her drumming awakens the spirit, and the heartstone is revealed. With the stone in hand, the group races back to NDUKU, where the skies are now filled with dark, swirling clouds. As Amari places the heartstone in the drums and begins to play, the beats echo across the land, bringing life, rain, and harmony back to the village. The story ends with Amari being recognized as the youngest ever keeper of the drums, her name etched into the legends of NDUKU. The villagers celebrate her bravery, and Amari learns that the true magic of the drums lies in the love and unity they bring to the community. As the celebration winds down, Nana Zina gathers the villagers around the great fire to tell the tale of Amari's journey. Her voice, warm and wise, weaves the story into a timeless legend that the children listen to with wide eyes. They cheer for Amari, who sits quietly beside her grandmother, still trying to grasp the enormity of what she has achieved. But deep inside, Amari feels a new kind of rhythm stirring within her, a rhythm of responsibility. She understands that being the keeper of the drums is not just about playing them. It's about protecting the harmony of the village, safeguarding its traditions, and nurturing the connections between people. Days turn into weeks, and life in NDUKU slowly returns to its peaceful routine. Amari begins her training under the elders who teach her the sacred rhythms of the drums. Each rhythm, they explain, tells a story. One calls the rains, another heals the sick, and yet another strengthens the bonds between the villagers. Amari practices tirelessly, her hands learning to move with the confidence of her heart. Meanwhile, Kofi decides to stay in NDUKU, drawn by its warmth and the friendships he has formed. Together, he and Amari create new rhythms that blend the traditions of their villages, symbolizing unity and the possibility of a shared future. Kito the parrot becomes a village favorite, entertaining everyone with tales of their journey, though he tends to exaggerate his role. Elder Sheku, the tortoise, finds a comfortable home near the drums, offering his grumpy wisdom to anyone who will listen. One day, as Amari is practicing a particularly difficult rhythm, she feels a faint but distinct vibration in the air. It's as if the drums are speaking to her. She closes her eyes and listens deeply, the way she learned on her journey. The drums seem to be calling her attention to the distant mountains where the sun sets. Amari shares this with the elders, who exchange uneasy glances. They reveal a part of the legend that had been forgotten. The drums are connected to all the villages of the savannah, and their silence may not have been a random event. If the harmony of NDUKU was restored, it might mean that another village is now in danger. Amari feels a surge of determination. She proposes a journey to the mountains to discover what the drums are warning about. The elders hesitate, but eventually agree, recognizing her courage and wisdom. This time, Amari will not journey alone. Kofi, Kito, and Elder Sheku volunteer to join her, along with a small group of young villagers eager to follow in her footsteps. Their new adventure begins with the blessing of the entire village. As the group sets off, the drums play a steady, guiding rhythm, their sound carrying across the savannah, like a protective embrace. What lies ahead in the mountains is unknown, but Amari is no longer afraid. She has learned that the greatest power is not in magic or legends, but in the strength of a united heart and the belief that, together, they can overcome anything. The story ends with the villagers of NDUKU watching their heroes disappear into the horizon, their spirits lifted by the promise of another tale that will one day join the drum beats of their history.